Hello, Dr.Long here. Today we'll be going over SCP-025, which unfortunately is not a wardrobe to Narnia. And with that disappointing news, let's get right into it. SCP-025, Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-025 is only to be opened during testing, as is the room in which SCP-025 is stored. Entry codes are only to be given to authorized researchers and security personnel. No other containment protocols are required. Description: SCP-025 is a wooden wardrobe measuring 0.97 meters by 0.62 meters by 1.95 meters, full of clothing dating from a number of time periods. Article contained within the chest, collectively named SCP-025-1, match with styles of decades from the 1920s to present. The apparel from each time frame varies with regards to style. For example, a polyester striped shirt and a pair of charcoal suit pants both correspond with general styles of the 1970s. The only unifying aspects of every article contained in SCP-025 is that each one is in poor condition. Moths have eaten at much of the collection, and tears and runs are not uncommon. When any item from SCP-025 is put on, the wearer is observed to either die or suffer an injury within 24 hours. The cause of death or injuries in these instances is invariably linked to the aforementioned flaws in the clothing, but only ever appears to be an unrelated incident. Wearing a glove with fingertips cut off may result in the loss of fingertips through a simple kitchen accident like chopping onions. Similarly, a subject wearing a poncho with sleeves missing will somehow cause the loss of his uncovered arms, be it in an attack by a wild animal or a vehicular accident that necessitates the amputation of the limb. If placed in a sealed, unfurnished enclosure while wearing an item from the chest, the wearer will either seemingly spontaneously contract a flesh-eating disease that begins in the areas not covered by the clothing, or suffer the failures of organs located between the imperfections in the article. Disease arising from such incidents may or may not be contagious. No study has been successfully undertaken due to the speed at which the strains observed run their course. Recommended that if possible, samples of the disease be taken to the lab for possible weaponization. The following is an abridged testing log of SCP-025. More thorough testing will accompany the declassification of the document in its entirety. Test Log SCP-025 Section 1 Subject D778, a 42-year-old white male. Article 1940s era white tuxedo. Imperfection: torn seam in left shoulder. Test result: subject was allowed free roam in the halls under Agent Black's supervision. For approximately 45 minutes, nothing eventful occurred. However, at timestamp, security tapes and eyewitnesses indicate that D778 appeared to take an attempt at attacking Agent. He in turn overcame the subject with a knife, causing an inch-deep gash in D778's left shoulder precisely at the point where the tuxedo seam was ripped. Test halted. Subject later terminated. Subject D690, a 26-year-old white male. Article 2004 Boston Red Sox baseball cap. Imperfections: missing size adjuster in the back of the cap. Logo in the front partially removed. Test results: placed in a sealed room with the subject was a table on which were a loaded Jericho Baby Eagle 9mm handgun, a grill lighter, and a hatchet. D690 chose to wear the cap backwards for the test. Potential effects on this decision on the outcome of the test are unknown. Subject expressed reluctance to touch any of the objects on the table for several hours. Food and water were provided as necessary. After 4 hours of general inactivity, subject picked up the handgun and examined it. While holding it roughly at high level, the weapon discharged into D690's forehead, where the size adjustment band would have been. The round exited the subject's head near the part of the hat with the missing part of the logo. Subjects: D736, a 22-year-old white male, and D771, a 23-year-old white male. Article: Burgundy striped sweater vest dating from the 1973. Imperfections: Article seems to have been partially eaten by moths, several large holes in the front of the sweater. Test result: D736 was asked by research staff to wear the sweater vest, which he did under duress. D771 was given a loaded handgun out of sight of the other test participant and instructed to, on a given signal, fire all 6 shots in the direction of D736. After doing so, it was noted that every shot fired passed through the holes in the sweater vest, leaving the clothing intact and killing D736. Firearm retrieved. Surviving subject transported back to quarters. Subject: D771, a 23-year-old white male. Article: Sweater vest from above trial. Imperfection: same as mentioned. Test result: D771 was this time placed in an empty room, dimensions 15 meters by 15 meters by 15 meters. The only other objects in the enclosure were lights overhead. Subject initially complained of boredom, then laid on his back and went to sleep. After 2 hours and 14 minutes, 2 of the fluorescent light tubes in the ceiling suddenly dislodged and fell. Both landed squarely on holes in the sweater, shattering upon impact. One of the test tube broke into jagged pieces that impaled D771 in several areas, but again only in gaps already present in the sweater vest. Subject vitals persisted for another 6 minutes, then ceased. Further testing locations will be selected to minimize possible damage to surrounding area. Subject: Dr. Unplanned experiment as an unidentified individual left an article from SCP-025 on Dr. Blank's desk that looks similar to an item of his own clothing. Any information about this incident and or the perpetrator should be reported immediately to the senior staff. Article: Light scarf, dyed a number of colors. Imperfection: heavily pulled seam caused scarf to be considerably shorter and tighter in the middle. Test result: according to his itinerary, Dr. wearing the item from SCP-025 was en route to the enclosure of SCP- on for routine testing. However, he diverged from his intended path and began in direction towards an entirely separate wing of the facility. Subject then entered the enclosure of SCP-173 without gathering accompaniment or following safety procedures, and upon hearing the door closing, blinked. Cause of death listed as strangulation resulting from crushed windpipe. Subject: D802, a 30-year-old Hispanic female. Article: 1980s flash dance style white shirt. Imperfection: right shoulder removed, left sleeve completely cut off, entire bottom hem shredded. Test result: data expunged. All presents were presumed infected, then quarantined, and data expunged. All further tests involving 1980s era fashion have been postponed indefinitely due to the expenditure and safety hazard presented by the aforementioned experiment. Full cleanup estimated to take an additional weeks. Further testing authorized. Result now awaiting declassification. End of audio log. Oh god, that last experiment. Well, just another example of the Foundation's brutality. Like, what did they think was gonna happen? It's not like it was the first test. Also, now they're thinking of using it as a bioweapon? Yeah, okay, that's ethical. Well, after all, it's the Foundation. We terminated ethics long ago. That's it for today, folks. I'll see you all in the next one.